welcome to the Arts for Jose Mourinho's men. We're at UCLA in Los Angeles, looking forward to the first live training session of this tour, and in the company of Bojan Djordjic and Mikel Silvestre up here with me. We'll also be hearing from David May and Paddy Crone, Michael Carrick as well, and of course the excitement is building about the arrival of Romelu Lukaku. We'll be talking plenty about him during the course of this show. Great to have your company here, and indeed the company of you guys. The players coming out here now, ready for the first training session. You guys have been here, you've done it, you know what it's all about. So what's it like when you've sort of had the time off over the summer, you've been relaxing, you've been chilling, looking back on the last season and getting your aims ready for this campaign, and then you suddenly realise we've got some work to do?
Yeah, but the first thing I'm thinking of is we need a towel, Mikel. I think the sun is beating too much in my back with this black polo, but of course it's excitement. I can only go back in 2004, and my first pre-season with the first team was also in America. As a young player coming over the first team, of course you look forward. It's your chance, make it or break it in a way, but coming out there, getting your fitness up to the levels and impressing on the manager is a big thing for the youngsters down this tour.
Certainly is, and we just saw a flash there of Jose speaking to his new signing, Romelu Lukaku. We are, of course, in the terrific surroundings, I mentioned, of UCLA here in LA in California, and wonderful facilities here. I mean, it's one of the main attractions, Mikel, isn't it, to coming to America for British teams. The wonderful facilities here, the chance to really get set for the new season.
Yeah, I mean, compared to tours in Asia, I think when you come to America, you expect to be in good conditions to prepare for the season, because you know you're going to be into campus like UCLA, where the facilities are wonderful, everything is spot on, the quality of the pitch, the weather obviously, but also the crowd is not there to disrupt the training session. So all the attention, the focus, the conditions are all there for you to prepare in the best possible way.
Indeed, and you're very well placed to talk about America, of course, having played for Portland Timbers for a spell here, and you know about travelling around with United too, and we kind of get set for these sessions. It's always exciting to see the squad at this stage of pre-season, because everyone's just sort of getting used to the new players who might be arriving, obviously Lukaku and Lindelof in the side. Also getting used to life without Wayne Rooney, of course, which we'll talk a little bit about during the course of this show, and of course the next few days as well. The fact that Wayne isn't here, so the club captain isn't here, Bo, so there's a search on for a replacement with the armband for the time being.
Of course it is, but as you get older, you know yourself, your time might be up, and it's time for new players to step up and take that armband around. Pre-season, look at this weather. We were down on the pitch, me and Mikel as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful pitch to get your training done. And this preparation needs to be good, but because we need to be challenging for that league again. We are in the Champions League thanks to the Europa League win as well, so it's looking bright in the titles again.
It is very bright in lots of senses here today, with the signing, the confirmation just a short time ago that Romelu Lukaku is now a Manchester United player. And indeed, you'll have seen our show, I'm sure, just before this one about Romelu Lukaku and the unveiling of him as a United player. Indeed, now this is where he gets to know these Manchester United players. Of course, he has a good relationship with some, including Paul Pogba. We've seen an awful lot about that over the past week or so, which will help him settle in, as indeed it will help him settle into the club, that he's been there and done it in the Premier League. 25 goals last season, for example.
Well, he's done well for himself at Everton. He went first to Chelsea, so he knows the environment, the demand of the Premier League, what it takes to impose himself, to score as many goals as he did. So he's still in progression, so I think it was the right moment for Manchester United to go and buy him and spend that type of money. It's a big transfer, but I think it's worth it. I'm looking forward to see him how he is adapting to Jose Mourinho's demand, but I think they know each other already. And for Romelu Lukaku to know some players we've seen signals in the airport at Manchester United.
It's a landing strip. It's a landing strip. But Mikel is right in it as well, that today's market, you have to pay a big price tag if you're going to lure a quality player. Not many quality strikers on the market. Lukaku was one of them. We're in talks with Morata as well. But if I had to choose one of them, even if I like Morata really much, I followed him, but I would choose Lukaku. He's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, and he's improved. Just look at his goal scoring tally for the last 3 seasons. A smart move for him as well. Take that loan deal to West Brom, where he got that first season of first team football, and he's going to secure your goals. He's big, strong, powerful, and he will improve in a bigger surrounding with better players.
I want to talk very briefly, guys, about shirts. We're going to mention this quite a few times during the course of this pre-season tour, but you will see numbers on the players' training shirts for the time being, and indeed numbers during the matches as well. It's just worth pointing out these are the numbers they'll be using for the tour. They're not necessarily the squad numbers for next season, not confirmed by the Premier League yet. That'll all be tidied up just before the start of the campaign, so don't rush out yet and get your new shirt with the number on just yet, because numbers may change. So that's just a little warning. We'll say it a few times, but you will see some numbers on shirts.
Is number 27 free? Is it?
There have been a few different players in that shirt.
It's Marwan Fellaini who took over. So he's taken.
But let's talk. While we're talking about shirts, it's worth noting that out of shot at the moment, Paddy Crowne doesn't have a shirt on. So we'll try and make sure he does have a shirt on before we bring you some words from Mr. Crowne very shortly. But some words there from Jose Mourinho for the time being as he gets his troops ready for the first training session. And we mentioned Lukaku. Let's just say, for example, some great stats about him. But he's only the fourth player to score more than 80 goals in the Premier League before turning 24. And he's in good company. Michael Owen, Bobby Fowler and Wayne Rooney, the other three to have done that. I mean, that's impressive, isn't it? And shows that he does guarantee goals.
Yeah, he does. I think the first move from Chelsea to sign him, they've recognized the potential, and he's delivered all this potential for Chelsea on various occasions, but mainly for Everton. His appetite for goal, and I've seen an interview lately, he said he was watching a lot of videos to improve his game, and he's learning from the best, and that shows the mentality, the right set of mind from a player whose desire is to win titles and to bring something to Manchester United. So I'm very positive about this signing, definitely.
It's like the other supporters or people that were criticizing this move outside Manchester United about Lukaku and about the agent fees, and the agent make him choose Manchester United. You should go in and listen to Romelu Lukaku. It's a very intelligent and bright 24-year-old we're talking about, and I think he can make his own mind where he wants to play his football, and he's chosen the right club to improve, because Mikel knows as well, with better players, they make you improve your touch, they make you think faster and quicker, and also you don't have to have that load on you anymore like he did in West Brom and Everton, that he was the main one. He had to deliver all the time. He will get the passes in the right time. He has the quality around him. He would just be better and better as the season comes along.
And it's worth talking about age very briefly, because you mentioned 23 years of age. You look at obviously Luke Shaw, just 22 years of age. Lindelof, 22, about to turn 23. But another young player there. People like Jesse Lingard, 24. Paul Pogba, 24. Marcus Rashford's only 19, and then Lukaku, as you mentioned, 24 years of age as well. So it's a United side with a lot of age and a lot of potential. But potential for the future is often what people like to buy, but also.
But he said to the old gaffer, Sir Alex, you will never win anything with youngsters. That's what exactly he did. He developed them. Because if you have the quality, it's much easier to work with that. And we need that spine through the team, through De Gea, onwards to Bailly, then to Pogba and to Lukaku. It's a great sign. And if you're looking at depth in the squad as well with the quality, I think we have to and we will improve this season, especially when you look at our table position last year in the Premier League.
If you look at the possible spine of the United team as it may currently stand, the old men of the spine would be De Gea at 26 and Herrera at 27, which you think about that. Obviously very experienced players, but not old players.
Not old, definitely. A lot of energy and years ahead of them. There was always going to be that transition from this team who won the league last in 2013 under Sir Alex, and now buying young players but still with experience. You need that good blend. I think it was key for Michael Carrick to stay. Wayne Rooney would have been also good in this aspect, but I think there is enough maturity and enough experience at United for those players to lead, because you need leaders. Quality is good, but sometimes along the way of the Premier League, it's a marathon. You can lose your focus and your way. So these guys, they've done it before, so they're going to be important and key players for this season.
Certainly, the experience of players like Michael will be important on this tour as well as during the course of the season. I mean, I suppose you've got a lot of players coming here having had some time off. This is key for fitness, isn't it? And you think about the conditions here. It's hot, it's humid, it's great for getting into shape.
It's It's very good. You think about Marcus Rashford being rested by England. It's all benefit from Manchester United. If I was an England fan, I wouldn't be so happy, but good. It's good for us. All these guys, there is a lot of positive from coming into this pre-season. The guys have been working on their own. They've had the fitness regime to follow, some running program, gym fitness program as well. So they're here today to start straight away. They're going to be kicking the ball, not so hard with minor intensity, but we have a game soon. So trust me, they are almost ready to play those games.
Certainly are. Very warm and humid here, as I said. It's just over 30 degrees here at the moment, which you can understand why they're sitting down, to be honest.
It's a little bit warmer than Stockholm, I can tell you that. I need that
hand side, which there we go. Wouldn't mind jumping in that right now, to be honest.
Of course, you see the injured players as well doing their works with the physio John Davendace, Luke Shaw and Ashley Young having a little stroll around.
Yes, as they continue their journey back towards fitness. And
yeah, keep in mind you have this journey, like 10 hours flight from yesterday, the jet lag, so the players will need some time to adjust. You can't get into training at full speed the first few days, even if they are really fit. The body takes time to adjust, so it's going to be a nice and easy 2-3 day session before the intensity.
5 matches in the US, followed by another couple in Europe, and then of course the Super Cup against Real Madrid before the Premier League campaign starts. So there's plenty of action to come on the pitch, but it's sort of about preparing in the best possible way for that over the course of the next week here.
Of course it is, and I think the manager is aware of that. We qualified for the Champions League by winning the Europa League. We came 6th in the league, and I think he's going to be happy with that. He's delighted they were in the Champions League, and now the work starts. And it's always interesting for me, every time we speak about United, I always want to speak about Paul Pogba. Mikel was into that as well. He had a difficult pre-season, but also same thing happened in Juventus as well after his first season, when likes of Pirlo, Vidal, Tevez left, and he took too much pressure on himself to perform. He wanted to do everything. I think he's more settled in himself, confident. He's one of his best mates is signed as well, so I think we're going to see the right side of Pogba, like Juventus did as well when he got that number 10 jersey and won the league for them before he came here as well. So I'm really looking forward to see Paul Pogba in shape and doing his best at creating and scoring them goals like he did for Juventus.
Indeed, we look forward to that. Bojan and Mikel, thanks for the time being. Plenty more to come from those two guys up here as we look down on Manchester United's first training session of the tour live here on MUTV. Down on the edge of the pitch, and indeed the edge of the running track, Stuart Garner's with a couple of Manchester United legends. Let's hand the baton over to those three now. Stuart.
Dave, thank you for that. It's down here at pitchside, the magnificent facility here at the UCLA. A couple of guys who wish they were doing the running.
No, we don't wish we were doing the run, but wish they were their age, in actual fact. I just spoke to Lukaku and he said, I'd love to play against that David May every week.
I'd take him all day, it's not a problem, that. Can't kick him anymore, that's the problem. But as you say, it's absolutely beautiful, great day. Start of a new season for us, and a couple of new additions. I'm sure there'll be a couple more coming in as well, so it's looking good.
Well, the lads have already been talking about that sort of thing, but I think I want to get your boys' impression as well. Lukaku is here, somebody who was proven in the Premier League. Is that the key thing, getting goals in the Premier League?
It's a difficult thing to do. The thing with Lukaku is that he's proven in the Premier League. You know he can score goals. We've seen him now.
He's very important, Dave, to look after himself. I think you need that.
He is a unit, he is, and I think games last year for Everton, he bullied teams.
Yes, and we don't have players like that, do we, that bully players?
I think the game's changed a little bit, Paddy, but he is the type of lad who can ruffle a few defenders, I'm sure. Seeing him now up close and personal, he is a bit of a unit, and he's going to bully many centre halves.
Fancy playing against him? Is that what you're saying?
Paddy, I've never shirked any challenges, pal. It's hard enough work. It's hard enough working with you.
That is a challenge for us all.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
It is a challenge for us all.
No.
In terms of pre-season, is for new players settling in 2 or 3 weeks away, everyone together, getting to know your teammates. I mean, does it help if you're a new player, do you think, coming on a tour like this?
Yeah, I think so. I think the lads themselves will introduce them and make them feel at home. I knew when I joined back in '94, the lads were a different class. We went away on tour, and within a week or so, you got to know them all. And
I was wondering why we signed you.
Is he just going to moan all the way through? That's all. What are you doing here?
I'm only kidding. You know.
No, but hey, this is where you become a unit. This is where you become your togetherness, and you fight for each other. We had.
Do you not think it's great, David, when you come to a club and your pals there?
Paul Pogba we're talking about here, aren't we?
That's how up, isn't it?
Well, it does, of course it does. Yeah, I think the fact that the lads know each other all, either on international duty or whatever it is, and you play against them week and week together. We've got some tough games coming up over here in America, but you'll find out that these are your teammates that you're going to go through thick and thin over the season, because there's going to be some hard times, but this is where your characters come out.
I've been the unfortunate thing with United fans. We think we should win every game, don't we?
And rightly so, yeah. That's what we're here for, yeah, to win things.
But it's not going to happen, is it? I'm talking about the season ahead, not just the tour here.
Listen, Paddy, you've got to address every game as it comes, and the manager knows that. There are going to be tough games, but he's forming a tough young team that's going to develop over the next few years into, I think, it's going to become a fortress of a team.
I fancy us this year, actually.
But a very physically imposing team now.
Yeah.
There are some big lads, yeah, there is. You've got the likes of Juan Mata and Daley Blind a little bit smaller. But they're the big fellas. But they're the talented players. But yeah, if you look across that team there, like there's some units. There are obviously Lukaku, Pogba.
Fellaini, of course.
You need a bit of everything, don't you?
Of course you
need a bit of everything.
But what are you doing?
There was a game postponed because of the bad pitch. Training pitches weren't in good condition. The training pitches here at the Drake Stadium at the UCLA, absolutely outstanding. One of United's own sort of groundkeepers has been here making sure it's to the liking of the management team. And you do feel as though this pre-season has got Jose Mourinho's imprint all over it. He's been here loads of times with different clubs, and this is how clearly he wants it.
Well, first and foremost, this is how Manchester United should want it. Not just Jose, but the fact that we are the biggest club in the world, and you want the best facilities. It's good because Real Madrid are just over the fence on the far side, but.
The great thing about it as well, David, they're staying here. They're here for the 3 weeks?
Duration,
Duration. They're flying out to where they're playing and then coming back again. I'm looking forward to the games. The games are some terrific matches.
Paddy, that's what's more important. It's getting the game time in now. Yeah, you can do all your running, you can do all your preparations, but it's all about the game time now. And we're 5 days away from the first game against Galaxy, and would you?
Fitness in pre-season, though. I mean, how crucial is it when it? No, it is different. You were saying earlier. I mean, we've had Lou Macari in the tour here before, and he's going, "Well, it's different to my day when you were running to the ground." Is it different even when you were in pre-season?
Yeah, I mean, I remember even when I was at Blackburn, you got a running track around us there, and you'd be doing lapping. It'd be absolutely
we're in trouble. The manager's heading for us.
Oh, the manager's coming over to say, "How you doing? You okay? Good to see you."
How are you doing? Okay.
I thought you were coming over to say something.
So that's nice. Jose Mourinho just been over to. I thought we actually. Honestly,
there you go.
Thought we were in trouble.
First match.
Yeah.
Romero doesn't play.
Really?
Play David 45.
Yeah.
And the kid 45.
Yeah.
Second match, David doesn't play. Play the kid 45 and Romero 45.
Okay.
And third match against Man City, doesn't play Joel and play David 45 and Romero 45.
Thank you. You heard it. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Gaffer, any room for Paddy?
Paddy in the track.
Yeah. He wants to see you on the track, Paddy, before he gives you.
You've got a chance.
I don't think so.
So there we go. That's nice of him to come over. He was heading over us at top speed, and I was thinking, we're in trouble here. Are we standing on the pitch? Are we in the wrong place? But
very nice.
That's good. And do you know what? That's brilliant.
But fans like that as well. That reaction with fans. He's coming over there. I know that those programmes going out to our fans.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to do something like that.
No, but just getting back to what you were saying earlier on, Stu, the fact that training now, the lads are playing in 60 by 60, just running around on the toes. I mean, to be fair, these lads weren't.
Did you like pre-season
I hated pre-season. I hated
pre-season. Nobody liked pre-season training.
There was always a little dip in Littleton Road where we used to train after the cliff, and there's a little dip about 200 metres out, and it always used to get you. Your legs used to jelly.
Dave, we used to go pre-season for the first week. Heaton Park in Manchester, everybody knows Heaton Park, uphill and down Dale every day for a week, and then we would start bowl work after that. It was absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
But to be fair, these lads are, the fit as fiddles now.
They look after themselves more today, don't
They
they?
look after themselves in the summer. They don't come back,
No.
overweight or whatever.
No, it's good to see. It's good to see, and so much as they're looking to get fit, they are fit anyway. But a lot of it now is just getting back to.
For places.
Yeah, and it's also getting back to where they were 4 or 5 weeks ago, having the season just finished.
Well, Michael Carrick, this is his 12th pre-season with Manchester United, so he's used to all this. And on his way out to the training field a few moments ago, I caught up with him. Yeah, first day of training in the blistering heat at the UCLA. Michael Carrick here alongside me. I make it this is your 12th pre-season with Manchester United, and the first without Wayne Rooney. Is it the end of an era in a way?
Well, listen, obviously Wayne leaving the club, it's a big deal. He's been such a massive part of this club since he stepped foot in it. Obviously, since his debut, it was an incredible debut, and I'm sad to see him go. I understand why he's gone, and we obviously fully support him and wish him well, because he's been an unbelievable servant to the club and left a legacy that's incredible. So yeah, great times. Everything comes to an end, unfortunately, and yeah, like you say, it's the end of Man United for Wayne, but I'm sure he'll go on to have a successful end to his career, but you'll certainly be missed by a lot of us here.
Things do change and things do move on, as we see. We saw Romelu Lukaku arriving. It's now official. He's a Manchester United player. You would have faced him, I'm sure, over the years. You're glad to have him as a teammate now?
Yeah, certainly. I've tried to tackle him a few times. He got nowhere near him, so at least I won't have to do that too often. But he's we've seen what he can bring to us. He's a big guy. He's got a real presence. He's tough to play against, and he scores goals.
The goals. Do you think he's the man for that? He's got more than 20, I think, 3 years running.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to look to him to take everything on his shoulders. I think he's obviously, that's why he's brought here to help with that end of the pitch and to score and create goals. And we've obviously, as a team and as attacking players, everyone needs to chip in and score goals and share the load a little bit to take the pressure off each individual. So, but I'm sure, yeah, of course, he's going to be the one we look to score goals, and I'm sure he'd do that.
Finally, you still enjoying pre-season? I mean, you've done a lot of them over the years. 90 degree heat. How does it feel?
Yeah, my brother texted me last night. He said it's the 20th pre-season, so it's quite a lot. I mean, it's coming out here today. The first thing that strikes is the heat. It's incredibly hot, but great setup though. We've all done bits of work on holidays and away from it, but today's the real deal. So let's get started.
We'll let you go on with it. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
So great to catch up with Michael Carrick. As I say, he's 12th pre-season with United, but more than that when you consider Tottenham and West Ham. 36 in just a couple of weeks' time, but always one of your favourite players.
Oh, without question. I think he's been a magnificent player for Manchester United, and the way he looks after himself. He's another one that's going to be up alongside Ibrahimovic. He'll not quit at 36 or 37. But he's been fantastic, actually.
He's kind of in a kind of ever-changing cast, players coming in and out, but he is always there.
He's been the ultimate professional. Not one of the ranters in the papers or anything like that. Wants to get away. He's just the ultimate professional that he's served Manchester United ever so well. He really has, and obviously he got his testimonial last year, which was thoroughly deserved. And he's got a new contract, and I wouldn't be surprised if the manager gives him another one at the end of the season. Obviously depends on the season how it goes. But he's fit. He's still a young lad. 36 isn't that can dictate games. When we've had Scholes in there, Scholes tended to get all the glory. Yet Michael was always in his shadow, and that's the way he is. He lets other people do what they have to do.
Hard not to be in the shadow of Paul Scholes, isn't it?
Of course, yeah, of course. But you know what I'm saying. Paddy.
I know what you're saying. He's been terrific pro. He's the type of player that pros appreciate, Dave.
Yeah.
Pros appreciate and respect. Yeah,
100%. He's a top player. He really, really is. And as I said, he got his testimonial, and he deserves that.
Okay, well, much more from our team here at this magnificent Drake Stadium at the UCLA, just off Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. Manchester United's first training session of Tour 2017 presented by Aon. We'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes.
Welcome back to Los Angeles and to the first training session of Tour 2017 presented by Aon. Delighted to have your company here in the American sunshine today, along with Bojan Djordjic, Mikel Silvestre, David May, Paddy Crerand. More from Maisie and Paddy very shortly. But guys, let's pick up on a few of the things that the guys were talking about just before the break. And obviously the focus today largely on Romelu Lukaku, this morning confirmed as a Manchester United player. This morning here, of course, back home, the afternoon was when the news finally broke of the deal. And guys, we talk about the fact that he's a big name player, he's proven in the Premier League and all that, but I suppose one of the very good points to bring up about Lukaku is he was superb for Everton last season, scoring goals against the smaller clubs as well as the bigger clubs.
But we also need him in the big games, and now he's in a bigger club. Again, I said it, I think it's the fifth time I'm saying, surrounded by better players. It makes you improve, it makes you step your game up. We're going to be in control most of the part of the games, especially at Old Trafford, and the chances will appear. For me, it's a great signing. We don't need to protect him. We don't need to send a protective fee. That's the way, unfortunately, today's market is. But you know you're going to get goals with Romelu Lukaku. And look at his age. It feels like he's been playing for 15 years, Mikel, and he's still just turned 24. So for me, great addition, especially coming for the first training day, being with the team, being one of his closest friends, Paul Pogba. It makes you blend in, melt in into the group much easier, and it helps.
Indeed, and we'll actually hear Paul Pogba interviewing Romelu Lukaku a little bit later on MUTV. You certainly don't want to miss that.
What language?
But well, in English, but they have their own language, don't they, a little bit as well, which is great. We'll see that in part 3 of this show, so do stay with us for that. We'll concentrate for now on the training that's going on behind us, and obviously talk about the fact that he's only 24. It's a 5-year deal with an option for another year, and I think Bojan's right. It feels like he's been around for a long time in the game. Obviously playing for Chelsea, having I think 15 appearances for Chelsea, on loan at West Brom, plenty of goals for them.
At that time, it was Jose Mourinho who allowed Lukaku to move on, and it was a good choice because he was a starter. He's had a lot of opportunities to play, a lot of game time, and a lot of services. Everton is an attacking team, so he's had chances to shine, and he took them. So in terms of goal ratio, I think he's proved what he's capable of. Now it's in big games and high pressure games in Champions League where that's going to be a step higher, another test for him. But I think when you're international playing for Belgium, there is nothing that's going to stop you, and surely the pressure is a bit higher, but he's used to it. So I'm confident for Remo to deliver.
Because he's already sold him once. That's obviously not happened because he's still here. He sold Lukaku at Chelsea. In a way, it's sort of the perfect scenario for Jose, isn't it? As a manager, you see a player, you let him go, but you then have him back when he's a bit older, a bit more experienced, and certainly with Lukaku, a much stronger player now, physically and in terms of goals, than when he left Chelsea.
Maybe there was a buyback clause.
Yeah, buyback clause as well. But if you're looking at Lukaku's point of view, think about getting sent away by a manager. Say if Mikel was my manager, and then a couple of years later, Mikel takes me back. As a player, I will grow. It means that I've actually put all that behind me. I've proven myself to him that I'm good enough to play for a big club that's challenging, both in the Champions League and the Premier League. So it's a great boost of confidence, even if he scored them goals. And he scored 25 in 37 appearances last season. Yes, the goals, some of them were the 3-0, 4-0 or 5-0 goals, but I don't agree with some English pundits. I'm reading papers, I'm listening to them. Yeah, but can he do it in the big games? He will do it here because Manchester United are bigger than Everton. They are bigger than West Brom, and it means it opens up for other players to improve even more, and he will give you them runs that you need, and if you improve like Martial, Rashford, Mkhitaryan, and of course Pogba is going to hopefully play a little bit closer to him during the season.
He is obviously going to be expected to score goals. We know he can do from his time in the Premier League so far. When we talk about goals generally, do we need to see more players sort of stepping up and scoring goals? Last season we had Zlatan obviously bagging an awful lot for United, but now obviously with Wayne leaving the club, Zlatan injured at the moment, and obviously at the moment not a part of the Manchester United plan for the future. Who knows what might happen for him. We look at the numbers of goals. Rashford 11 last season, Mkhitaryan 11, stepping up, Mata with 10. Do we need to see more in double figures?
Yeah, ideally you would like to see the goals spread out throughout the offensive players, with Pogba, with Herrera, with Mata, Mkhitaryan. and Lukaku obviously should be the leader. Martial should improve also his scoring record after his first promising season. Hopefully we will see players stepping up and scoring from long range, from short distances as well.
I'm hoping that Mkhitaryan will step up. He's a really good player, some fantastic ability, and I can compare him when he was in Dortmund. He didn't have the best of first seasons, but second season really step up to play it. It means he feels confident, part of the group, and he also needs to feel that he's getting picked week in and week out. And then individuals like that, especially like him, with that brain, will even improve, and he will get into double figures. He was fantastic in Europa League, but in Premier League he just needs to find that level of consistency which he didn't really have.
He didn't score many goals, but he scored the finest goals.
Of course. Yeah. Even if one of them was offside, but we're not going to get into that.
No. Yeah, I think when you score a goal like that, it's allowed if it's offside, isn't it? That's the way we see it. But it's funny, we talk about sort of the speculation surrounding players an awful lot on MUTV and who might be coming in and who is coming in. When you think about the players down there, obviously Lukaku and Lindelof in the bag, but when you think about the other names being bandied around at the moment, James Rodriguez is one mentioned, Ivan Perisic another one who's being talked about. If you're someone in their position down there at the moment, you're thinking, go and spend money in that position.
If you're a Manchester United player, if you're part of this club, you need to just live with pressure day in, day out. Doesn't matter, summer in January, they might buy somebody in your position, but you'd have to put that aside and actually just think of yourself, to be there, to be ready when your chance appears. Doesn't matter if you're throwing your dummies around and you're being negative, you're just destroying it for yourself. You're not making Mourinho want to pick you. You're just making yourself become even more into the freezers. So being part of this club, Mikel has been part of some great clubs. He knows, doesn't matter how well he performs. Next week, they might buy somebody in my position, but I have to step up to plate. I have to show him that this is my place and not his.
I think being in the freezer sounds quite nice right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking about a freezer. I was looking at some freezers behind the cameras here, and I think I'm going to put my head into a freezer and come back in a few seconds.
Plenty of nice ice boxes around here. We might explore some of those very shortly. But for now, let's hand you back down to pitch side, to Paddy, Maisie and Stu.
Yes, down here at pitch side, we've actually been taking a look at the goalkeepers going through their routine. It's funny, at the start of the summer, it was another summer where people were saying, oh, Daya, not sure, is he going to go, part of another deal, all that sort of thing.
Hopefully he'll stay, I'm sure he will stay. What Manchester United don't want to do is get rid of the best players, and he's by far probably the best goalkeeper in the world.
The other two best, aren't they?
Certainly in Europe, we've got the best. Yeah. I think he's the best goalkeeper in Europe, possibly the world. So why would you want to get rid of him? You build your teams, you build your foundations.
I don't think it's a point they're going to get rid of him. I think they're in a situation that you don't know. He's signed a new contract, hasn't he?
Well, he signed a new contract when it looked as though he might be leaving. But of course, have we got perhaps the best keeper in the world? What about the best backup keeper in the world? We've got Sergio Romero.
So question as well.
Exactly, he was outstanding in the Europa League last year, and he deserved to play in the final because there's many games we played last year where he was probably possibly man of the match. And listen, you need two top goalkeepers.
Well, let me tell you something, Dave. What about the young kid Pereira? He's terrific as well.
Well, he just signed a new contract, and he had a little taste of first team action towards the end of the season. He had a loan spell out in Portugal for some of last season, but it's difficult when you have three top goalkeepers to keep them all satisfied.
It is, and listen, I'm sure as Jose came over and rightly told us, he's going to sort out the goalkeepers for the pre-season games, and listen, it's all about getting match fit, getting match acclimatised, because you just never know when you're going to be called on.
Well, he's going to use all the players here in the three matches, isn't he? I think did he say Pereira was going to play against City?
Well, he did say there's going to be all of them are going to get a chance.
Yeah.
But he's got faith in them all. What about from Romero's point of view, where he's never let United down.
No.
He's kept clean sheet after clean sheet. He's won a major European trophy. I mean, how should he be thinking about it when you're up against perhaps the greatest in the world?
Well, I probably played with the best as well, with Peter Schmeichel, and behind him was Raymond, who was a top goalkeeper as well. But you've just got to bide your time, and.
But Dave, how do you do it? How do you keep them happy? That's the big problem, isn't it? I mean, if you're a player, you want to play every week.
Well, you do, Paddy, but goalkeepers aren't the cleverest anyway. Obviously, to come across are not the cleverest.
Tell him, who's the biggest goalkeeper we've got?
No, but look, there's only one position in the goalkeeping situation. You've got to bide your time. Romero last season was absolutely outstanding.
He was.
And you know what? You have to give credit to the manager by giving him, the reins and saying, listen, you're going to be my Europa League goalkeeper.
Well.
Because at times, you can think, well, it's a final, you got to play your best goalkeeper, but he never ever let us down once. And that's great management, I think.
Well, the manager sees him every day, and the manager knows the qualities of him.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Good goalkeeper, Manchester. They've struggled like hell. Got rid of Joe Hart, brought in 2 keepers that Pep's not too sure about. But here in the red half of Manchester, we've got 3 goalkeepers that you wouldn't bother if the manager said.
If somebody get injured, exactly. It wouldn't be the problem that City had last year.
No.
I know, Maisie, you were keen also to talk about another new signing, Victor Lindelof, who was the first signing this summer. He turns 23 in just a couple of days' time. He's young for a centre-back.
Well, it's just a number now, isn't it? If you're good enough, you'll play. I spoke to him on the plane. Just sat behind you two, to be fair.
You already caught the thing? I thought he was a kid. I thought he was just a young kid.
He is only.
I didn't know who he was.
He looks very young, but I tell you what, he's.
I thought he was just talking to Bojan. He's talking to you as well.
Well,
most of them. Yeah.
I'm not very good at Swedish, but I got my point across. But do you know what I said? I said, "Are you looking forward to? Have you played at Old Trafford before?" He's never played there before, but what he can't wait is to go out in front of the Stretford end and hear the roar of the Stretford end. He's heard it on television.
Scandinavian countries, they'd be very pro-United, aren't they? If you've ever been in Scandinavian countries.
And I said to him, "You're looking forward to, your new start in your career," and he's absolutely buzzing. He can't wait to step out at Old Trafford in front of 70,000 people, cheering his name, egging him on, pushing him on, and cheering him on. That's the best thing. That's the best feeling he'll ever get when he's that first game. He'll never ever forget playing at Old Trafford.
I was thinking a year ago when United signed Eric Bailly as the first signing. It was quite oh, hang on, he's got a chance here, man. Is it a kick that? Oh no, it's gone. Yeah, Eric Bailly, no one had really heard a lot about him, and it's a similar situation. I don't think that many people really know a lot deal about Victor Lindelof, and yet if he's anything like Bailly, that's a terrific partnership.
Well, no, you're right, Stuart. Nobody knew about him. Nobody will know about this kid really till he starts playing. I mean, I just can't believe how young you look. Maybe is it me?
Is it well?
Don't you be making any funny remarks? But is it maybe?
Everybody looks young compared to you.
To be fair, by the time you finish today, you look like Skeletor a little bit even more because your skin's going a bit more leathery. But no, it's a young kid. He's enthusiastic. Cheers, mate. He's enthusiastic. But you know what? I tell you what it does.
He's your water carrier.
I can't believe it. Rod Thornley has just come across to give Maisie a bottle of water, and we're just sitting.
Well, I'll give you a taste in a minute. You won't have any of this, Paddy. It's Gatorade. But look, he's a top player. We know that. But I tell you what it does do. It shows the scouting system at United. Don't have to go after the creme de la creme of Europe. They're still looking for the Eric Bailly and the Lindelof, and I'm sure there'll be another couple coming in that might be just under the radar, but listen, he's a top player and he's going to be a great asset to this club.
He was known when he played in Portugal as the Iceman, cool under pressure. It sounds like he's more of a Rio than a Vidic, should we say? I don't know.
I would think so, yeah. I think you get a reputation, and listen, people give you reputations and stuff like that. Paddy was reputed to be an hard man, but really, when you see him out, I saw him out last night having his chocolate cake. He was a bit of a pussy because you were a little bit aggressive, to be fair, because you wouldn't let anyone else have a piece.
It wasn't it?
Yeah, and as we say, he's 22, he's coming to 23. Absolutely.
But David, it's a big step to walk onto the pitch at Old Trafford in front of 70,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a big step.
Yeah, Alex Ferguson used to say it's a special player that can play at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And
whether that makes Maisie a special player or not, I'm not sure. That's for you at home to decide.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for the voice for now. We're going to take a break in a moment, but after the break, you'll be able to see this MUTV exclusive. Pogba interviews Lukaku.
I'd love to see that, actually.
Welcome back to LA and live coverage of United's first training session on Tour 2017 presented by Aon. Time for another MUTV exclusive now. Before the break, you may well have heard Paddy Crone saying he was itching to watch this one. So he'll be watching with intent now, as we all will, as Paul Pogba interviews Romelu Lukaku for MUTV.
First, Romelu Lukaku, welcome and congratulations for your signing for Manchester United. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel really well. Really happy, delighted. I can't wait to get started.
Okay, and are you looking forward for this season?
Yeah, of course. I think last year you guys won 3 trophies. Now it's time to build on that and perform better than we did last year.
Perfect. And to be honest, as a Manchester United player too, I'm happy, very happy to see one big player like you and a brother as well. And so, remember me? I can't remember. Where did we meet? First time.
The first time at Stamford Bridge, but I knew about you when I was 15.
I knew about you too when I was 13. Yeah, really.
Yeah. No, my dad came at the house. I remember when you guys played my brother with Belgium against France, and my dad came to the house and he said, like, Rom, I seen a guy in midfield, number 10, captain Paul Pogba or whatever his name is. Left foot, right foot, 60 yards, like it was nothing. I was like, really? And I asked my brother, and he told me it's true. But we met at Stamford Bridge, remember?
Yes.
The 3-3.
I do.
We went playing, sitting in the stands, looking at each other, doing like, what are we doing?
Yeah. It was
tough times, huh?
It was a tough time, but good memories.
Yeah, good memories. I think it formed us to what we are today.
Exactly.
Gave us a bit of motivation. Just the game was a good game as well. Like 3-0, then the comeback.
The comeback was nice.
Yeah, at the time. But it was a good game. It was a good game. Then we spoke after the game. We exchanged numbers, and we've been in touch on a daily basis ever since.
So I'll give you something that nobody knew. Yeah. And there we are.
Here we are now, yeah. There we are. Always competing against each other, but now playing together. I think what we have is because everything is natural. You know what I mean? People think it's made up or something, but everything is natural. We gel well. You're the fire, I'm the water, but you see when I would need to wake up, and I tell you when to calm down, so it's good.
Exactly. But, we match. Perfect.
But we're really competitive. That's the thing. When we play basketball, we play football, we talk rubbish.
I always win, but still competitive.
Why are you being like that, man? You remember what happened in basketball last time?
1v1.
No, but like when you played the 5v5, what happened?
Yeah.
Did you shake my hand?
We lost.
Did you shake my hand at the end?
Well, you have to go.
You see? He didn't shake my hand.
That's true. It's true.
But now we're together, so we know what to do. We don't talk much, but we have to make sure that we perform. It's serious now, so we know what to do.
He says he invented the dab before you did.
No, I scored. No, remember when I scored? I did the dab before you, and then you scored a few weeks after.
Man, I created the dab.
You didn't create. You made it worldwide. No. I think he made it worldwide. Cam Newton made it worldwide.
No, he came.
But you came. No, Cam Newton did it, and then you started doing it, and then he came all over the place. But then I scored before you, and then you scored in some stadium in Italy in the league, and then you did it with Quadrado.
I will tell you something.
What?
It was the same. It was the same weekend. It was the same weekend because I remember you didn't. And first it was a dance. He come from the dance.
He did it, yeah. He did the dance, and then
he took it at the dance. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay. I taught you well the dab. I taught you very well. You did it very well.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it anymore.
Good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
My question is. Now I think you're a top player. You confirm yourself in the Premier League, and you signed in one of the biggest club in the world, and one of the biggest club in England, obviously. And Now, what is your objective? What is your goal? What you want to achieve?
Titles every year, nothing less. Nothing less. I think being at Manchester United, you have to challenge for every title that there is, every cup or whatever. And that's what I want, and that's why I'm here and help the team perform. I'm not going to talk too much, but I'm just going to perform on the pitch and do whatever it takes to win again.
Just for MUTV, the winner?
For the winner, yeah. That's for the winner of MUTV. We sign it together.
I sign it too, alright, cool.
Just create the game and do whatever. Okay, thanks. There we go. Thank you.
There we go, some great chat between the two. Keep your eyes on how you can win that signed shirt as well, because that's a prize you certainly want to get your hands on. And a bit of dab debate in there, and also titles every year and nothing less, says Romelu Lukaku. Some great words. He starts his Manchester United career. We are, of course, at UCLA in Los Angeles. Our time here today is coming to an end now, but we will be here every day this week to bring you training. There are, of course, certain bits of training that the manager wants to keep under his hat, and therefore we're going to leave you now here on MUTV. But we will be back, as I say, throughout the course of the week and throughout the course of the tour, bringing you plenty more exclusives from the squad and indeed our team of former players out here. Many thanks today to David May, to Paddy Crown, to Stuart, of course, as well. Mikel and Bo, great to see you as well. Thanks for your company today.
Thank you.
And as I say, plenty more coming up today and indeed for the rest of the tour right here on your channel. Do stay with us. Tour 2017 presented by Aon. See you soon. Bye-bye.